wangu. Nilipata challenges mingi kwa sababu nilikuwa nataka kufanya kazi ya wiring ya gari. Nikajikuta kwamba naambiwa niweke mabalbu juu, siwezi. So nikabidi nikachukua kazi kama ya welding.
Wilson is a skilled plumber, eager to contribute his expertise. He is the breadwinner for his family and is actively seeking employment opportunities. Differently.
It is indeed the last day of the first month of 2025. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to KBC Lunchtime News. My name is Njue. Susan Thuku is my colleague on the sign language interpretation beat. We begin our live coverage at the corridors of justice, where the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission selection panel is now fully constituted after the swearing in of 2 of the remaining members. Caroline Kituku, who represents the Law Society of Kenya, and Fatma Saman, representing the Interreligious Council, took office on Friday morning in an event witnessed by Chief Justice Martha Koome. Koome reiterated the call for members of the panel to identify individuals with integrity to build trust in the Kenyan electoral system ahead of the 2027 general election. The panel is currently holding its first meeting.
Women, you are going to select to lead the IEBC as commissioners. I urge all the institutions and stakeholders involved in this process, Parliament, political actors, civil society, and even the general public, to ensure that the recruitment of the new IEBC commissioners is concluded and conducted with speed. There must also be utmost integrity and transparency, because the Kenyan people expect and deserve nothing less.
And from electoral matter to regional peace, where the Congolese army has enlisted the support of allied militia to repulse the M23 rebels who have threatened to march to the Democratic Republic of Congo's capital, Kinshasa. At Bukavu town, the DRC government has continued to rally civilians and Nyatura, a local militia, to fight alongside the FARDC.
Conflict in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo appears to be approaching the tipping point after the M23, in an announcement made by Colonel Nangaa, threatened to extend their capturing of major towns in DRC until the fall of Kinshasa. The ultimate goal, to topple President Felix Tshisekedi. Reports say the rebels are currently advancing towards Bukavu, the second biggest city in the mineral-rich East, despite international calls for a ceasefire. In response, the DRC government is said to be mobilizing its military and civilian resources, including the enlisting of the local militia Nyatura, to repulse the advancing of the M23 rebels. On Thursday, Colonel Nangaa, who heads the rebel group, presented the rebels as the new administrators of Goma, promising to restore internet access, water and electricity supply. The fighting has forced about 500,000 people from their homes, worsening an already dire humanitarian crisis, according to the United Nations. Peacekeepers from several countries have been killed in the conflict, with South African troops suffering the highest casualties of 13 soldiers, which has precipitated frosty relations with Rwanda, whom it accuses of attacking its soldiers. The East African community has tasked President William Ruto, who chairs the summit, to reach out to his South African Development Community counterpart Emmerson Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe to facilitate a ceasefire deal struck by the two communities. Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
And back home, a family in the Ngomongo area of Korogocho sub-location is crying foul after a mysterious death of their kin, an inmate serving 5 years at the industrial area remand prison. Charles Omondi died on Saturday in Bagadi Hospital. The family claims that it received information that the victim was allegedly attacked by prison warders. The post-mortem conducted indicates that Charles succumbed to injuries caused by blunt trauma to the head.
Nyinyi ndio familia wa Charles, tukamwambia sisi ndio familia ya Charles, tumekuja kumtembelea na tujamuona. Atuambia poleni, Charles alipelekwa hosi, alikuwa amegonjeka, alianza kugonjeka jana, ikifika asubuhi akazidiwa, tukampeleka hosi. Tukawauliza ni hosi gani mlimpeleka ili tuende tuone ako hali gani. Alikataa kutuambia.
Kufika hapo nikapata askari mwingine hapo, nikamwambia nataka kuona Charles. So akaanza kuandika jina, akaandika Charles. So alikuwa anaongoja the second name. Nikamwambia Nyamburi. Akasema Nyamburi Omondi then akacancel hiyo name kwa hiyo kitabu. Nikasema hata mimi nikakuwa shocked like kuna ameandika jina then akisikia Nyamburi ana cancel then anaambia huyu mtu wako hajaitika. Unaona? So waongoja pale.
Ndio maana tuna insist kama familia, and it's not a easy thing. Tunataka justice ijulikane, ndio wale wengine pale wapate justice yao. Sio ukikamatwa wewe umefanya makosa mpaka uproviwe guilty or not guilty. That's it.
Moving on, Kenyans have been encouraged to visit health facilities for cancer screening checkups. Speaking in Momboni, Machakos County at a cancer awareness event, Machakos Health County Director Wanyaga Mwaniki said that with early screening, cancer could be easily detected and treated. He added that regular cancer awareness sensitization conducted in the county, more than 18,000 people have been sensitized, with over 5,000 women screened for cervical cancer. Meanwhile, according to statistics conducted by the Ministry of Health, Machakos County has been ranked among the most severely hit by cancer cases.
Kuko na wazee wanyonge hawawezi kufikia kwenda Machakos General. Na wakati tulisikia kama kuko na matibabu hapa karibu, tukakuja tukapata usaidizi. Haya kuona wananchi wamefika kwa wingi kwa hiyo hospitali. Tunawafikianga kwa vijiji huku kwa community, lakini leo wamefurahia kuona sisi na madaktari kutoka Machakos level 5 wamewafikia kwa wingi na wamewatibu matibabu ya hali ya juu.
And from the point of care, we have been able to do blood pressure screening, that is the NCD screening, diabetes. We have also given them consultation, which is general consultation, health education, nutritional counseling. And what we are getting from what we are seeing from this community is that our people are still suffering from the high burden of NCDs.
And still on health, every 10 minutes a patient requires blood, but most of them encounter the reality of the insufficiency of blood supply that barely meets the demand. Kenyans have therefore been urged to embrace blood donation to help bridge the blood supply shortage gap experienced in a majority of healthcare facilities. While making the calls, laboratory technologist Robert Indieka, who spoke in Busia County, called on residents to enlist in their numbers in the ongoing blood donation exercise in the county. This even as he urged locals to ignore negative perceptions on blood donations.
Kuna manufaa kwa kutoa damu, si peke yake kwa mwenye anapatiwa damu. Kwa hivyo naimiza wakaazi wa Busia wakipata nafasi watembelee kituo chetu cha kutoa damu hapa katika hospitali ya rufaa ya Busia.
Kwa sasa tukiongea, kuna wagonjwa wako kwa theater, kuna wagonjwa wanazaa, wakishindikana kwa kuzaa lazima waendelee wapelekwe wapi? Theater. Watahitaji nini? Damu. Kwa hivyo tunajaribu kuhimiza watu wengi watokezee vile mkuu wetu amesema.
In other news, Kiambu Community Water Project Association officials have faulted the Water Resources and Management Authority, WARMA, for what they claim as continued water disconnection despite a court order. The residents of Kiambu, led by Water Project Association Chairman Joseph Kirai Ndungu, cited the challenges they face while looking for water. The water project officials urged the authority to respect the court order as they await the outcome of the petition that challenged the lack of public participation when the proposed amendments were drafted.
The Resources Authority has continued to ignore the orders, and they have gone on to dismantle waterworks for our members, such that our members are not able to pump water.
Tulipewa court order na koti ikasema hiyo maneno ikome mpaka wakati ule watatoa verdict yao ama judgment, lakini wameanza kukuja kutusubua.
For now, we are waiting for the ruling which will obey whatever the court order will say. We will be behind the ruling, but for now they should wait.
Now, Kenyans of goodwill have been urged to extend a helping hand to the less privileged in the society. Speaking during a visit to the Mwingi Special School for the Deaf in Mwingi Town, the Southeastern Kenya University SEKU fraternity, led by Dr. Sarah Ngesu, further called on the society to embrace special education to communicate effectively with those with hearing impairment.
Hapa tumekuja katika shule hii ya wanafunzi ambao wana ulemavu wa kutosikia. Na sasa tumechukua nafasi hii tuje kutangamana na wenzetu hawa na walimu hawa na wanafunzi hawa, na tuwape kile ambacho tulikusanya pamoja kama chuo cha SEKU. Jamii kubwa ya SEKU ikajitolea ili wanafunzi hawa na walimu wabarikiwe.
The Tana Bridge, expected to revolutionize Kenya's trade with Ethiopia, is on its peak, with the contractor having committed to complete the project by December of this year. The bridge is also expected to improve inter-county trade between Garissa, Wajir and Mandera counties.
Speaking after leading the Regional Implementation Coordination and Management Committee in inspecting the progress of various projects within Garissa County, Northeastern Regional Commissioner John Otieno revealed that the new bridge, which will cost approximately 2 billion shillings and approximately 150 meters long, will be a game changer as it will open the gateway to the Northeastern region.
It's a very, very important road network that connects the entire of Northeastern to the rest of the country. This is a project that is supposed to be implemented in a time span of 24 months.
The bridge is a crucial infrastructure development project aimed at accommodating the increased volume of traffic to and out of the region.
We have engaged the contractor and we are happy with the progress status of this project. And from the look of things, I think the project will be completed within the required timeline.
Once the new bridge is completed, the 43-year-old bridge currently in use will serve light traffic such as pedestrians, border riders and livestock.
It was necessary that a new bridge, a modern bridge, is put in place because of the volume of the traffic that uses this bridge. That is why it was the government decision to come up with this bridge.
The regional team also inspected the readiness of the immigration offices in Garissa town, which is expected to be officially commissioned by President Ruto when it tours the region from next month. At the passport office, Otieno said the facility will allow residents of the region to apply for passports, drastically cutting down the cost and time of acquiring the same in Nairobi or Mombasa. The two projects are in the President diary. Otieno called on area residents to support government projects, emphasizing the importance of cooperation in achieving development goals. Timothy Kipnusu for Lunchtime News.
Elsewhere, the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO has launched the African Forest Restoration Initiative project to save and restore endangered ecosystems in Kerio Valley. FAO, in collaboration with Baringo and Elgeyo Marakwet counties, will in the next 4 years empower local communities and farm producer organizations to spearhead restoration efforts while creating value-added opportunities. FAO representative Philip Kisoyan says participants will receive direct financial and technical advice to support their initiatives.
Most of this funding will go to the local people. The governor was saying so cooperatives are very important, the producer organizations, associations, the individual, the family is important, but together they could do much more.
Capacity building is so fundamental, and I am happy because I saw the FAO representative from Rome asking whether they can use table here to train the farmers. We were talking about training more than 2,000 farmers who will train another 10 farmers each, that is 20,000. It will have a ripple effect.
Should actually converge our interest. Our interest is we conserve the environment. And then the interest of raia ni kupata livelihood. Tukutanishe huko mbele tuenda barabara.
Coast Region county governments have been challenged to develop policies that ensure persons with disabilities can access essential services in multi-story buildings. The Coast Civil Society Network for Human Rights has formally submitted a petition to the Senate and issued a 2-month ultimatum for the legislators to respond to an inquiry into the accessibility of buildings in Mombasa. Civil Society Network for Human Rights chairperson Zedekiah Adika has at the same time urged the Housing Department and county governments to renovate structures, warning that failure to act could lead to legal action.
There are certain buildings like Betting and Control and Bima Towers that they can't spend their money on because it will raise audit queries, because the national government is stuck on them. Ni tumepea Senate 2 months after admission ya hii petition. Itabidi sasa tuwapeleke kotini. Na tutamention individuals kwa sababu watu wanafanya makosa alafu wanatupa kwamba ni public resources ndio itatumika kulipa hizo damages.
Very well, we are now back to our top story where after the swearing in of Caroline Kituku and Fatma Saman, the IEBC selection panel is now fully constituted. We are now joined by my colleague Abdiaziz Hashim, who is at Parliament Building, to just give us more in regards to the same. Over to you, Abdi.
Well, thank you so much and good afternoon to our viewers. Troy, you've just rightly put it, is that Caroline Kituku, who has been nominated by the Law Society of Kenya, as well as that is Fatuma Saman, who has been nominated by the Interreligious Council, today was sworn in early in the morning, as you have witnessed at the start of our bulletin, where it was administered by none other than Chief Justice Martha Koome. You might wonder why we're here at the corridors of the August House. We're here at Parliament, given that Parliament is expected to facilitate not only financially, but in terms of resources to this particular selection panel that will be spearheaded. We'll be knowing in a few, given that they're still holed up in a meeting. It is a very crucial meeting where they're appointing their new chair, who will ensure that a particular committee is steered well in terms of the 90 days that they're expected to conclude this particular exercise. Now, of course, that is the bone of contention, or the agenda today is to elect a chair of that particular IEBC selection panel of the 9 members. You do know this was not the norm, given that in the previous years we've witnessed the selection panel was 7. Of course, this was precipitated by none other than the tiff between Azimio and Kenya Kwanza after the 2022 general election, where they were calling for responsibility and transparency when it comes to electoral matters. Of course, it borne the National Dialogue Committee that was chaired by Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka of Wiper, as well as Kenya Kwanza Majority Leader in the National Assembly, that is Kimani Ichung'wah. Kitungu were able to steer that particular committee, and one of the issues that majorly they touched upon is that that particular selection panel that was initially 7 members ought to be increased by 9. Now we have 9 members, of course, who have started this particular journey of ensuring that the 2027 polls is adequately prepared for. Now, you do know, even the Chief Justice Martha Koome raised some concerns that 2 years after an election, we are trying to look for IBC commissioners and their chair, since of course, that is Wafula Chebukati, the former chair, as well as the commissioners. Their tenure came to an end, and they are looking for new commissioners now. Martha Koome has called for diligency as the IBC selection panel continue with their discussion. You do know that what is expected from them is that they will forward 2 names, where the president will pick one in terms of the chair, and the rest, of course, will be the commissioners of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Now, outstanding issues that the commissioners, the new commissioners and the chair will be expected to face, or a hurdle that they will be met with as and when they take over Anniversary Towers, is that the boundary delimitation issues due to constitutional timelines, as well as electoral matters. You do know that there are several areas that do not have representation in terms of members of parliament as well as members of the county assembly. Those will be their area of focus. You even know one legislator who is now a cabinet secretary for energy, that is Opiyo Wandayi, who used to represent Ugunja constituency. They need to look for their replacement, and of course that needs to be facilitated by none other than the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IBC. We're currently being informed that the meeting has ended, and now they have accorded us, the members of the Fourth Estate, a chance to at least go there and cover that particular briefing. So allow me, Troy, to rush there so that we can hear who is the chair of this IBC selection panel that has 9 members. Back to you, Troy.
Thank you so much, my colleague Abdiaziz Hashim. As you can see, he is behind the corridors of power, and that is a parliament building, so where the 9-member committee is holding its first meeting right now in terms of how they're going to be working, and of course the chairman, and also they also do require resources, and that can only be facilitated by the National Assembly. More on that report in regards to this 9-member committee a little bit later. But for now, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with
ulinistaki na mashtaki gani?
Ukuelewa?
Sikuelewa,
Sikiza
nataka
basi.
uisome na Kisungu. Kwani kuita mtu kipara? Is it a crime?
It is a crime.
It's not a crime kwa sababu si yeye mwenyewe ana nywele mheshimiwa. Am I Nyanguni?
No.
Who broken?
I don't know.
Wewe si wewe unauliza ati wewe ndio nauliza Dr. Yasmin.
Kizungu mbona ongea?
Hii Kizungu ni yako, ni wewe ndio ulinifundisha. I'm asking you again. Did I come for you to inject me?
No.
No. So, what you need from me?
I don't need anything from you. I'm just giving
Can you walk out, please? Go out.
Wewe.
Sasa mimi amesema wewe alikuwa anagonga alafu mimi akasuia.
Ale toka hapo Msomali, toka hapo.
Wewe. Tena wacha kutumia hiyo jina, hiyo lugha ya Msomali.
How can you treat people like that? Calling and insult people. Kisungu nauliza tu swali moja.
Uliza.
Yesu ni mkabila gani?
Let me tell you, your job is the only thing you have, and the only place that you deserve respect.
What's wrong with you? The dishes aren't washed. Who provokes you?
Do I have the words cleaning lady written on my face? Was I born to be a cow or a horse for your family, to serve you 2 masters?
Really can't drink much. I'll drink for her. I recently quit. Excuse me.
I'm sending you my pin location. Please send your boys in 45 minutes if I don't call back.
The man needs to know I'm spying on you. But that doesn't mean we are enemies. Then at least let's make it believable.
I am tired of cleaning your dirty mess each and every time, mother. Who are you and how can I help you?
You can start by getting out of my way. No one crosses me and gets away with it.
Give it a rest. The guy is dead.
Why do you want me to take a rest so hard?
Do you really want me to give the half SIM card to Kaikara?
Wow, nice try.
I'll have Ruth drop them. Why now?
Are you not tired?
You know, when I find out you are involved katika abduction ya Alice, Millicent, I will make...
You will do what, Kaikara?
Welcome back and many thanks for keeping it Channel 1. Now, on a tragic note, 2 people died following a tragic road accident along the Machakos-Kitui Road. The deaths occurred after a vehicle, a Probox model, carrying 5 people veered off the road and plunged into Thwake River on Thursday night. 3 survivors are currently receiving treatment at the Machakos Level 5 Hospital. Confirming the incident, Kidangaine Assistant Chief Steve Mutua Ndamboki said the vehicle crashed into the river after the driver of the vehicle lost control at Thwake Bridge. Rescue teams managed to pull out 3 survivors who were rushed to Machakos Level 5 Hospital in critical condition. The bodies of the deceased have since been moved to Machakos Level 5 Hospital mortuary awaiting identification and autopsy.
Si pazuri. Sasa ukifika Kaani ama ukifika Kidangaini kama unatoka Masi na kuhatarisha kwamba uweze kupunguza mwendo, ndio ajali isije ikatokea.
Na asubuhi tulipata gari hapa ilikuwa imebeba maembe kutoka kambani, ilikuwa na watu 3, ndio na abiria 2. Na kwa bahati mbaya wawili wameweza kupoteza maisha yao, lakini ndio tunasikia ni kama kwa hai na kwa hospitali. Kwa hivyo sisi tumepata gari kuwa imeanguka hapa chini ndani ya daraja, na ndio sasa tunaanza kuokoa hiyo gari ndio ipelekwe.
Ninyi mnataka kutoa?
And residents of Magina in Kakrao Ward, Suna A sub-county, are living in fear following a surge in cases of insecurity in the region. Armed with crude weapons, the gangs have been targeting locals, stealing and causing harm. However, local authorities say they have arrested 4 suspects and are calling on the community to collaborate with security forces to curb the rising insecurity. Victims of the insecurity include Saul Okoth, a student at the Dedan Kimathi University, and Stephen Odoyo, were ambushed and injured on the night of January the 21st, 2025, after attending a funeral night vigil.
Critical, and one of them already has been discharged, and the next casualty is yet to be discharged anytime soon.
Saa 6:30 tuliweza kuvamiwa na vijana ambao walikuwa wamebeba mapanga, na harakati hiyo pia walikuwa wamebeba torch. These are just guys within the area who have just decided that in our way we want to work hard, but only to be waiting until the late hours of the night, attacking people.
Tulikuwa watu 3 tukienda nyumbani. Kufika kwa mlango nikaona vijana 2 wamesimama. Mmoja akaniambia tu, leo hao watu wanatuua. Akanimulika na tochi. Alafu kushtukia tu hivi akanipiga na fimbo kwa kichwa. Alafu akanikata mkono. Panga ya pili ilikuwa inakuja kwa tumbo, dive nikakimbia.
Switching gears to business now, and alcohol manufacturing giant East Africa Breweries Limited is increasing the number of smallholder farmers contracted under its sorghum farming program. East African Breweries Limited Group Chief Executive Officer Jane Karuku says contract farming is part of the farm's strategy to lower cost of production through reduced imports. She made the remarks when EABL announced a 20% increase in first half net profit to 8.1 billion shillings.
East Africa Breweries Limited is working with the Kenya Agriculture and Livestock Research Organization to enhance distribution of quality sorghum seeds to smallholder farmers. East Africa Breweries Group Chief Executive Officer says the firm plans to double the number of contracted smallholder farmers who grow sorghum and barley from the current 40,000.
Murang'a County, we have Tharaka Nithi, we have Homa Bay, Siaya, we have across the country it is taking place. So, and we use it to make beer. In the business, we have, as Kenya Breweries, our strategy to get 80% of our local input locally. That includes sorghum and other inputs within the production.
Contract farming is part of East Africa Breweries' strategy to increase support to the economy and reduce production cost by lowering raw material imports.
So we keep recruiting because the yields are different. But also, on the other hand, sorghum is always a food. So also, as we encourage farmers and give them better seed to produce, we also, WFP sometimes buys, but also people are using it for consumption. So it's an ongoing initiative. And right now, I know the one which is very topical is the one with Murang'a County.
She made the remarks when EABL announced 8.1 billion shillings in first half net profit that was powered by lower inflation, borrowing cost and higher sales.
Posted a net revenue of just under 68 billion, reflecting a 2% increase compared to the same period last year. Profit after tax for the period grew by 20%, reaching 8.1 billion on the back of currency appreciation in Kenya and Uganda.
This is despite challenges such as high cost of material inputs and illicit trade.
Challenges to our business prevailed, including shrinking disposable income, high cost of material inputs, including grain, sugar, and selected packaging materials. Illicit trade continued to grow, impacting our business and endangering the lives of consumers.
The company has proposed an interim dividend payout of 2 shillings and 50 cents per share, which is more than double on the 1 shilling per share that shareholders pocketed during a similar period last year. Beson Njue reporting for Lunchtime News.
And still on the agriculture bit, a digital soil sampling and testing program has been rolled out by the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization in 7 counties. Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization researcher Peterson Njue says the initiative will enable farmers to determine the appropriate fertilizer to use based on identified nutrient deficiencies.
A digital soil sampling and testing program is being carried out on a pilot basis in 7 counties, namely Tharaka Nithi, Kitui, Makueni, Trans Nzoia, Uasin Gishu, and Kajiado. The pilot is expected to inform the countrywide rollout. In Embu, the process is being spearheaded by 60 agripreneurs who have been trained by the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization.
We have trained, together with our ACARO experts, we have trained our entrepreneurs who are going around the county in every ward with the sub-areas, agriculture officers and the chiefs. They'll be going around from today and they'll be taking samples.
Njue says the program seeks to inform government policies such as the type of subsidized fertilizer that will be tailored to the specific soil types in the different parts of the country.
Tafanya sampling kwa wakulima, hiyo sample itakuja kwetu, tutaifanyia analysis, alafu after kuifanyia analysis tutapeana recommendations yenye tutatumia mkulima, tumwambie shamba yake mambo ya fertility inataka kufanywa namna gani.
Farmers are optimistic that the soil testing process will lead to improved crop yields.
Tuna matumaini kwa sababu tumejua kwa kweli mchanga kama vile inavyosemekana ni mainstay of the country. Ikipimwa tutajua ni jinsi gani tunaweza kutumia mchanga ili tupate mazao mengi.
Frederick Muki for Lunchtime News.
In other news, manufacturers are working closely with the government officials to address the infiltration of contraband products. Mabati Rolling Mill CEO Dipti Mohanty says as part of the efforts, local manufacturers are stepping up sensitization of customers on how to distinguish genuine products from counterfeits. It is estimated that counterfeits cost Kenya 100 billion shillings annually, in addition to eroding customer trust being a health and safety risk to consumers.
We feel that this area, which is the Kama case and the neighboring area, is upcoming areas in terms of development work and construction work that is happening. And it's extremely important for us to explain to the customer what is a good product, what is the right product, how they can differentiate, to help them in the buying process, and how they can differentiate between a good quality product versus a fake, bad quality, substandard product.
And this ensures that we have quality mabatis. Because it's one of the challenges that we've had, especially in our county where construction is one of the big industries. Our customers are getting what we'll call fake or substandard, and what we encourage them is through capacity building, through educating them on where to get genuine mabati.
Further afield, U.S. President Donald Trump says he will follow through with his threat to impose 25% border taxes on imports from Canada and Mexico from tomorrow. President Trump says a decision about whether this would include oil from those countries had not yet been made. The details of this and other stories making headlines from other parts of the world.
Sweeping new security measures along the country's U.S. border, including strengthened surveillance and a joint strike force to target transnational organized crime. The pledge follows a threat from U.S. President-elect Donald Trump to impose, when he takes office in January, a 25% tariff on Canadian goods if the country does not secure its shared border to the flow of irregular immigrants and illegal drugs. Has promised to implement a set of sweeping new security measures.
Let's now focus on sports, where former multiple world record holder Jocelyn Jepkosgei is set to make her debut at the Ras Al Khaimah half marathon tomorrow. In the United Arab Emirates, Isaiah Laiso, who finished third at last year's event, will be aiming for an even higher podium finish.
Jepkosgei, a former half-marathon world record holder in mixed-gender fields, finished third at the 2024 London Marathon. She is also a former 10-kilometer world record holder, having set a time of 29 minutes and 43 seconds. Joining her in the race is Kenya's Judy Kemboi, who dominated the half-marathon scene last year with 3 straight wins, before setting a personal best with a runner-up finish at the 2024 Copenhagen half-marathon.
And I think that when you have a quality of field like that, pushing each other, it can produce very, very fast times. So we know that the course here in Ras Al Khaimah is perfect for knocking off those fast times. So I wouldn't be surprised to see course record go in the women's and maybe into the 63 minutes.
The 2 Kenyan runners will face stiff competition from Ethiopian athletes, including Ejgayehu Taye and Girawit Gebraziha.
Not so, but I have a little content. I heard it's a fast course and the weather is good, so it's possibly I can run a personal best, my good time.
I feel this is better for me. Yeah. Last year I ran 66 in Valencia, but I was not in a good shape. Yeah. But this year I hope for the good to break my PB, to run 65. Yeah.
In the men's elite fields, Kenya's Isaiah Lasoi, who placed third at last year's event, is aiming for an even higher podium finish after setting a personal best of 58 minutes and 10 seconds at the 2024 Copenhagen half marathon.
I train well, I feel good on my training. The inmate help me nice in training. 7 coach. Thank God for coaching. The coach give me food program.
He will be joined by Ethiopians Adam Lakabelihu and Gemechu Dida, who finished 4th at RAC in 2023, as well as Kenyan Commonwealth Games 5,000-meter silver medalist Nicholas Kipkorir.
From the Middle East to Europe, where Manchester United sailed through to the Europa League last 16 in a tense and nervous game after they beat FCSB 2-0 at the Arena Nacional last night. Diogo Dalot netted in the first goal in the 60th minute before Lazio, second-placed Athletic Club, who tie on points with Lazio, continued with. Very well, that's where we put a cap on KBC Lunchtime News this Friday and the last day of this month. Many thanks indeed for joining us. On behalf of everyone who's made this broadcast a success, including my director, Mugo Karaoke, and the entire crew. My name is Njue, and Susan Thuku has been our sign language interpreter. I wish you a good and blessed weekend ahead. Weekends are for adventures and creating unforgettable memories. Have a good one.
Let me tell you, your job is the only thing you have, and the only place that you deserve respect.
What's wrong with you? The dishes aren't washed. Who provoked you?
Do I have the words cleaning lady written on my face?